like we said, like I was the whole time they were drafting that last game. I was like, something's not sitting right. It just feels bizarre, feels weird. Something's not cool. This already, right off the back, the first two, I can tell that they can build a better draft off of this instead of having this like Venge Puck kind of style that just it can work. But with the what was the third hero that they had in between there? It was Venge Puck and
it was Alchemist.
No, there was another one before that.
Tiny?
Yeah, and Tiny. Yeah, it just like looked weird. And then when they picked the Alk, it looked really weird because they just can't really do anything like that. These two, I feel like, have a lot more diversity with their lanes and their setups.
I feel like the Venge was when it started to get weird, right? Because they third picked Venge, and then everything's
banned.
Everything was banned that you'd want to see with it. It was like you were talking about the Arc banned. Every single thing that you mentioned, Dusa banned. Everything that seemed like it would have gone well with the Venge just instantly got banned out. And I think that kind of shows some of the weaknesses of some of the things like Dusa that we have seen as well.
I think if you're gonna pick the Venge, you open with the pairing, or you wait till your third, fourth picks, right? Otherwise, you're at risk of just having all these options that you want be banned out, which is exactly like they ban out literally everything.
You have to either open with the pairing, or you have to know, even if they ban the worst 3 heroes that we wouldn't want them to ban, that we're still going to get what we want based on our bans. Like, we have to have that security plan, because I think with my initial patch impressions, I thought Drow was broken, right? And I realized in my pubs that I played against Venge Drow every game. Like, it was always Venge Drow. And I was like...
Yep.
This shit's busted. Like, I can't believe it. And then I watch Venge and Drow without each other. It doesn't look nearly as impressive. Yes, I think Drow, like, self-sufficiently is a better hero, but Venge, if she's not enabling somebody, her laning stage is just so bad.
Especially with Drow. I mean, Venge just breaks Drow because the way multi-shot works with doubling range, and you get agi bonuses and all this cool stuff, so... Definitely seems like one of those very OP kind of combos if you do get it a lot of the times, especially in pubs.
Yeah, just Venge's only strength in lane is that she gives minus armor in a range to somebody on the opponent team, and her core then has to hit that guy a lot. If that's not happening, then Venge in lane, like last game we saw Venge Alk. Alk's the complete opposite of that description, and then you just see the lane get completely dumpstered. So for people at home that are trying to learn lane duos and synergies and what makes a support get enabled if you're trying to pick carry and your support's already picked Venge, this kind of stuff's really important to take note of.
Yeah, like even like last night too, we saw Venge Jug.
It looked terrible.
It looked abysmal. They
Jug early
game's
a spin, right?
Yeah.
He's not right-clicking people. It's just it's pretty crazy how Dota works, because it mainly gets punished in professional Dota, because if your heroes don't have that synergy, oftentimes the opponent is even more likely to have it, compared to pubs and whatnot. So you get punished for having that lack of synergy. As we see in Enchantress, really nice against the Grimstroke early, right? Because you purge the Inkswell potentially in lane, but it's also just a really nice 5 to guarantee their laning stage that they also struggled in last game.
Yeah, no one deals with Enchantress in lane. No one can deal with the creep. You have to try to block the creep camp, especially too. So you have to waste some money or waste some time constantly addressing the camp while also dealing with the lane that she also bullies in as well, even without the creep.
Batrider is banned. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bat. It's definitely
Bat's by far the best offlaner, I think. If we're dealing with Enchantress, she doesn't like getting sticky like 5-man.
Yep. And also with like the Grimstroke pairing, I think you always are gonna see those like Dooms, those Bat Riders taken out. Shadow Fiend. You guys can see the little bro pound there on the mirror up above the heroes there. Okay, but I mean that's an early pick for the Shadow Fiend for Iceberg here.
It's really nice against Enchantress, but I think that's a bit of an overreaction.
Yeah, it's like, got him. Got that 5 Enchantress, you know?
Well, is it that ludicrous that this could be a 3 Shadow Fiend?
I've been contemplating people doing it, but yeah, it's pretty ludicrous.
Okay, just curious, because like the only reason I theorycraft that is just because they did pick it in response to the Enchantress, and it would be weird to pick your mid this early as a response to the 5.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is also, you just picked it into Rubik and Magnus. Magnus, BKB, Piercing, Disable. If you do want to get Requiem off, Rubik, you always steal Requiem. So
they're leaving their carry till last, which is kind of interesting to me on the side of 5-man, because usually with this mag, you can flex it mid or off lane depending on the matchups. And they look like they've just, because they see the Shadow Fiend, they want to commit the mag to most likely off lane? I actually don't know. Maybe they're wamboozling me as well as FlyToMoon.
Wamboozling.
Wamboozling. Look at that.
Never
Okay.
heard of that, but have definitely heard of Venomancer. We're going to manage to see him again. How do you like this next to a pick that we haven't seen all too
Can I
often?
ask a
in this
question,
tournament?
though?
Can you
So
deny
you
Venom
said-
Awards?
Oh, no, real quick. No,
Say the
serious
Venom Award
question.
thing.
This is a serious question. So you say you've never heard wamboozling, though, right? But do you understand what I mean when I say it?
Wamboozle?
Yeah.
Wham Bam and Bamboozle?
No, I'm saying, though, like, if I say, you know, are they wamboozling?
It's because it's
FlyToMoon
an
too?
onomatopoeia in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if this was a comic book, if this was a Dota comic book, which I feel like Slacks reads, it would come up and be like, Wamboozle, like in the draft, like in a chat
But
bubble.
would you know what that means, though, right? Like, in the general connotation of what I'm going for? Or does it just make no sense? that
No,
I say it?
I think it does make sense inherently. I think it probably transcends language as well.
It's just interesting because I hear that kind of stuff and I'm like, okay, so I know maybe they don't know what that word means, but did I get the point across?
Yeah, like if I went, man, you know, this pick right here is an absolute bazinga. I feel like everybody's gonna understand. I don't even know
know
what
what you
that word
mean.
means. I have no idea.
I
what
would
that
have to see the pick, but then
Is
I
Bazinga
think
good or bad? I can't tell.
I think if I saw the pick, I would be able to tell what he's going for.
I don't know if I would be.
I think so.
I
I think
don't know, Bazinga
I
seems
know
like
what
a
he's
little bit of
getting at.
bizarre
I
one.
know what he's getting at. Venomancer, super annoying for Enchantress. Super annoying for Mag.
absolute bazinga of a pick.
Absolute wham bam boozlings bazingaing of a pick. I think what I like about Veno in this draft is that it gives them the aura builder that they desperately needed because they have a ton of damage. Their first three heroes are all damage, and yeah, you can say Veno piles on that damage, but I think it's more so about having a hero that takes a certain part of the map, claims it as his own, and then buys items that enable his team to do their jobs better, and also effectively disabling the opponent team from doing their jobs, as we see in Ember.
Like their draft. It looks very aggressive.
Probably a Jug, and I'm going to hate it when I see it.
You think it's Jug? I think it's, yeah, I mean, Jug, or I think it's going to be Troll if it's not
Against
Jug.
Veno Ember, huh?
I just think that's, I don't know if they've got like really great options. I see the Sven ban, and that's the ones that at least stand out to me. And, okay, Jug.
It's the only hero that makes sense. It's really good against Ember. It's really good against Veno, but it's like...
I hate playing it versus Veno. He just kills your healing ward in every fight. There's a Veno ward that just snipes your healing ward every
Hey,
single
man,
time.
I'm used to playing against pub Venos. They don't kill your healing ward. I could see how that would be applicable in Pro Dota, and that's why it's
very
important
annoying.
not to draw, direct parallels between pubs and pro and make sure you distinguish the two.
But you can kill, you can threaten kills constantly onto that Veno in lane. But
With
Poison
the
Sting's,
Enchantress, yeah.
Poison's still Poison Sting's just annoying to play versus a lot of times.
The odds are pretty heavily in favor of FlyToMoon here. After watching that last game, there's not too much of a surprise around that, but there was definitely a clear amount of dissonance created in that last draft. It looked like there was a pretty big break, and it seemed like five men, if they didn't come out swinging in the early game, there was no chance that they were going to be able to bounce back. And now the question I do have for you guys now, a very different draft on the side of five men. What is their route to victory?
I think it's way more reliable this game than it was last game. Jug is the be-all, end-all critical threshold. If he hits 3 or 4 items, I think he is not going to have damage issues this game. That is a typical issue we see Jug run into. He ran into Alliance yesterday. We saw it against Timbersaw and a Void with SNY Scotty, right? And that just made it so eventually, even with the mag and power, he just doesn't threaten anybody. But I think if he gets 3 or 4 items, that he will carry this game. So if they can get past the early to mid game, way too much damage coming out from FlyToMoon. So it's like weather the storm for the first 15-20.
I think FlyToMoon are the ones who are going to be, being the dictators of the pace. I think I look at their draft and I'm like, damn, they have a lot of enablers with that Grimstroke, with the Ember, with the Tiny. They can constantly make moves around, and they have good team fight. They just have a synergized draft together. But I do think five men, if they can actually get to play, if the Magnus can actually keep this Jug farmed, Jug can actually carry the game. But I do think it can be tough. There's a lot of different ways that FlyToMoon can just play
I'm
aggressively.
going 5 men this game, though.
Okay, a
FlyToMoon.
little bit of a bazinga to round out this panel, but FlyToMoon, they're going to set the tempo. We already set the stage. Let's jump into game number 2.
Yeah, it's time to see if that last pick from five men, the bazinga that came in, will bamboozle the opposing team. I don't know what they were talking about in the draft, honestly, but I did hear one thing, Lacoste, which was that if five men get to play a game, well, they certainly didn't get to play the game last time.
Oh, they for sure didn't, but they have a better draft than in the last game. I'm still not convinced. Like, seeing these 3 squishy heroes, Enchantress, I forgot the other 2, Vindranger, and I believe there's one more squishy hero, but we cannot see it right now, and my brain is not working that way. And so that means that it's a great Tiny game. He has he has someone to enable him. It's not a Darkseer this time, but it's a Grimstroke, so kind of a same thing, you know. He goes in, once he gets a Blink Dagger. I think there's so much pressure on 5-man early on, once again. And this is an, you know, FlyToMoon Iceberg Classic Shadowfin. I just enjoy watching this dude play this hero.
Yeah, if he actually manages to get into... Do you think he's going to go the Yul's route and try and blow people up? Because you said you like the Tiny for that exact reason, right?
They have Ember Spirit. One of them needs to get damage, so they need to talk to each other. Like, if this game goes post 40-minute mark, they might run into some issues. What are they doing?
What's happening? What is this?
They're asserting dominance. That's it. Oh, yeah. Spray
Loser!
on them. Spray on them.
He put his courier in the tower, you goober!
First time I say
They brought all their couriers out, too? What a fucking boss move.
They're such a baller team.
I almost feel bad.
I would GG out right now if I was 5-man, honestly. They got us.
This will do just fine.
And they even show the items, so they know that Tiny has Boots of Speed, Venomancer adjusted to his item builds. Since he's like playing against the Juggernaut and Edge, needs to have extra movement speed just to run away from Blade Fury. Venomancer, 43 damage, no stats.
Yeah, that's I always feel like I need to get as many stat items as humanly possible. Maybe that's because I'm bad and I suck at CSing, but I hate having to CS on Venomancer in the first 2 levels, man. I cannot get those Wraith bands fast enough.
What do you get, 4 slippers?
No, not quite. I do ask for some regen, but probably at least a slipper and a circlet. Maybe 2 branches or something. Meanwhile, on the other side, the off lane for 5-men is going to be the Rubik Magnus combination, which I feel like should be able to do pretty well in the first 2 or 3 levels against this.
Yeah, Shockwave. I love that build on Mag. Gives you much more kill potential, especially with the Rubik. You get Skewer on level 2 instead of getting Empower and just trying to get the last hits. You're going to get them eventually. Mag has insanely good attack animation. And they're running low in region. Like, Always on a Fly already used 2 tangos and a healing salve, and V-Tune's playing on half HP at the moment. Still CSing very nicely underneath the tower.
Yeah, I don't think they're really going to be able to do a whole lot until like they're level 4 on V-Tune or something. Like once he's got level 2 Flame Guard might be enough for you to be able to get aggressive and like shackle up somebody, but it feels like for the most part they're just going to get pounded by a bunch of magic damage, maybe even some few cleave hits from the Magnus. We'll see what kind of build he goes for after this Shockwave.
I still think you put a point in Skewer.
Yeah, for sure. You got the Telekinesis Skewer combo, right? There's this Inkswell combination that V-Tune does have available to him, but I don't think
level
he
2
can
right
feel...
now. I think V-Tune's just straight up dead.
Yeah, they're going to try and burst down Zibe first, though. They do manage to get the first blood. That is great for V-Tune, because we said he was suffering on the regen department, so they just commit. They go for a kill. They manage to get the first blood, and he'll return back with a bunch of regen now.
Yeah, he got 300 gold from that kill, and he was already dead, so pretty good deal for Ember Spirit. Was out of mana, out of HP. How's mid lane doing? 12-2 against 9-1. The problem is, when Wind Ranger hits level 6, this is where she has a much greater kill potential, unless Iceberg is keeping her low.
Iceberg doing a good job of landing those raids. Goes for the close range one. Chessie quickly backs out.
He's in range of the long one.
Yeah, he's just going to chase him down until it's up. He's got 305. He's got 15 more movement speed, but the last one, the stacks ran out on the raises.
That's why, yep.
Otherwise, it certainly would have been a kill. Still, though, I mean, Chessie's still in a terrible position. He's going to have to immediately consume all the regen he can just to be able to have a presence back in lane.
And Shadowfin already has a bottle, so I want to see at least one hero from FlyToMoon just securing the bottle refill for that SF. Knowing how Always Wanna Fly plays, he's not afraid to die just to refill the bottle.
Yeah. Well, the Venomancer's doing pretty well for himself, 18-3. So General doesn't have the same issues I have when it comes to CSing on that hero, apparently. Ace He's dealing fine with the harassment. He does have his own options. He can spin off the Gale, and he's got Healing Ward that he can lay down. As Fog talked about, it's a hiding game. When you play this matchup, you have to be able to put your Healing Ward out and hide it away from the Venom wards that are going to come out and try and snipe it away.
Venomancer is just so annoying to play into. Runes are spawning, 5 seconds, Shadowfin. So just pushing out Chessie out of the lane. There's Misery on the bottom. Alright, that would be pretty hype if somehow Shadowfin managed to get it, but you know, he calls for help on the mid lane, like, guys, I'm not doing well.
No, Misery's gonna cut in from the other side. Nice gank.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That's exactly what they need. You know, they stole the rune from Shadowfin, they managed to kill him, and I don't think they can make any kind of aggressive rotations on the bottom. Like, it's a Mac can easily just skewer back, especially if he's standing closer to the tower. Roger, 2 observer wards in his backpack at the moment, inventory. He's just waiting for Shadowfin to heal him up with the bottle.
Yeah, I imagine he'll start getting some river wards. Icebird was doing quite fine in this lane before. He does not want to get ganked up like that again. So maybe we'll see some of that vision laid out somewhere. Maybe not. He just walks away. He's like, nah, you're good. No river ward for you. Okay, he puts one right there next to the Roshan Pit. General is going to be forced to TP away, and he doesn't bother with the spin.
Still very low on Juggernaut, and as you said, like, they can easily kill the healing ward.
Zibe, he does have his support showing up. They thought they could go on to Zibe here, but Zibe turns around and just goes for the kill on a V-Tune, trying to finish him up. Misery's close, but the healing salve comes through, and Misery will not manage to get that kill, nor will Always Want to Fly. He almost finished off Zibe at the same time. The Shockwave pulling him back in, but they know Zibe's still in the trees, and he's low, and they finish him off with a slight. Always Want to Fly with a Fairy Fire will live for now. They'll both live,
one.
but on pretty much no health.
V-Tune did not need to use healing salve. Like, Rubik does not hit that hard.
Yeah.
And he would not die. It had extra regen and the armor underneath the tower. Also, Mag does not have Skewer. He has 2-2-0 build, which is questionable for me.
Yeah, again, we said we have this really nice combo of the telekinesis into Skewer, but maybe he just feels a little bit focused on just the harassment and farming aspect that Empower gives you. You know, Zibe may have died and everything, but V-Tune lost his healing salve. Always Want to Fly didn't have any regen on him, so it's not like they're doing anything while Zibe was dead. 2
couriers flying up with some extra regen on the bottom. Sometimes it's really better to die.
Yeah.
Especially, okay, so he brought a bottle. 2 bottles, that's what we've seen from FlyToMoon in the previous one when they had Mars who picked it up early on after Orb of Venom. Even Zibe has a bottle. Like, they understand that it's very important to bring any regeneration, and whoever wins the trade war of regen kind of wins the lane. Ember Spirit a bit underleveled for this time. You know, they've been sharing a lot of XP. You want your Grimstroke to die before you get a kill.
Yeah.
The dream.
You want all that solo experience, but sadly he's not getting that, and he's also not getting a ton of CS either, especially compared to the Juggernaut, who I believe was top CS. You can see Network's a little different just because the Juggernaut probably has to spend so much on regen. Always Want to Fly, caught out just a bit out of position here. But I'm sure he'll be bringing some extra items for the Ember Spirit. He'll come TP in and refill the bottle as well.
So I see SF with Power Treads. That means that he's going to go for more of a right-click build. If you're getting Eul Scepter, you don't get Power Treads. You just want to get Eul Scepter as fast as possible.
Right.
But, you know, looking at the heroes that they have against the Juggernaut, Eul Scepter seems perfectly fine, dispelling Vendron. But they definitely need someone to actually deal right-click damage if this game goes late.
Dude, 5-man is botting them in this bottom lane, man. They gotta find some options. This is getting a little ridiculous.
I think you can leave Venomancer on top and just rotate the Tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, Venomancer he's getting into that territory where he just spams out wards, and it becomes very difficult to fight into him.
Wow, look at that ward. He cannot find it.
Yeah, that's the hiding game they were talking about.
It's still one of the best items, tier 1 items you can get on Shadow Fiend. Faded Brooch, extra movement speed, mana pull.
His tower is under assault right now, but this damn Hellbear, he didn't really want to take any damage. Man's up now and brings down the creep wave. While 5 men still hovering around this territory here. Searching for observer wards. The truth is, it's just always want to fly, sitting there on the high ground watching them all.
Haven't seen much of a Roger. 0-0-0 on Tiny. I mean, he can't really gank mid lane. It's very hard to gank a Wind Ranger. She's just gonna outrun you, have that 1 point in Wind Run. But the bottom lane, like, he could have left Venomancer solo on the top lane a bit earlier. Boots of Travel Venomancer, that's an investment.
Yeah, and it also leaves him very, very squishy. And again, this Juggernaut has Omni Slash and Spin, so if they do manage to get past the wall of wards and get on top of this Venomancer, he's going to get popped pretty quickly. And all of that successful farming he's doing in the top lane may be for naught. Bottom lane, do manage to finally get a kill here on Zibe. Double damage Iceberg with Roger. They're going to close in on the triangle here. Enchant is going to dispel that double damage, but they're going to toss him over. And 1 race into 2 race. That'll be the kill on a Pylite die. Securing the bounty rune. And the supports of 5 men chased away. Always want to fly. Finds a haste rune. Perfectly timed.
I'm not sure about this Boots of Travel Veno. It just feels like you spent 2,000 gold on nothing. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you're gonna save some because you're not gonna be using any money to buy TP throughout the whole game. But still, what is the timing you're looking for?
It's very different than a Bat Rider, right? The Bat Rider uses this Boots of Travel to be able to aggressively move around the map. His excess movement speed allows him to close in on enemies and get the lasso. Like, what the Venomancer is like, you kind of just hole out in a lane. And maybe you're going to TP to, like, defend against a tower push or something, but I don't...
You can still do that with a TP.
Yeah, you could just use TP scrolls. You don't need a full Boots of Travel to do that.
Well,
I don't know, man. Roger, he's going to be maybe gifted a kill on a Misery, or maybe not. Didn't do quite enough damage as he's on the level 6. And, well, that focus fire. It's a menace. Shackle shot will make sure that Iceberg doesn't get too much there.
oh, bottom lane, they managed to kill Pylite Die with the Grimstroke ulti. Usually you don't see Grimstroke getting an early point in Blaze.
RP underneath the tower, but V-Tune, he's fine. He's going to be able to take that damage up. Ooh.
Nice Shackle. Has 15 sticks, they see it, they don't want to go for it. Lots of Fairy Fire. Well, maybe Venomancer, you know, with all the travel restrictions, the man just want to travel.
Well, here he is, all the way from top to bottom. And his top lane is under assault. Roger's here to try and...
Go for that healing
Go
ward.
for a hit! Yeah! Tosses him up. Ace takes the full combo damage here, and is just going to TP out, scared of V-Tune and that aggression that was coming towards him.
Are fortified.
So Jesse, just a casual javelin going straight into BKB. There's a ton of magical damage on their side. Everything they have pretty much is magical, so
Yeah.
like you need to itemize properly.
And then it'll be a combo that he can just man up on the SF every single time. If you ever get on top of him, just focus, fire, pop, BKB, win, run. What can SF do to you? Not a whole lot. Well, he can go invisible. That's what he can do, because he went for Shadow Blade. So, still going to have some of that potential to surprise people, move around, gank, and blow them up. But, as you said, very much a right-click build that he is pushing into. Smoke gank here. Pylite Die. Going to join Chessie in the mid lane. Smoke and rotate to bottom, where currently we have the Rubik trying to push that in.
Oh,
they
nice
do have
combo.
that
Where's
first
the
Shadow
toss?
Blade. Nicely done.
Doesn't even need to use it. He was waiting for it. That's the Shadow Blade reveal. And they're going to put pressure on both top and mid tower at the same time. Where's that Venomancer? I want to see him travel back to the bottom lane, defend the tower. Right now, he's just sitting in a triangle. They have a ton of magical damage. He's just going for Veil this game. You know, this is his area. It's like watching Jack Chen, aka KBBQ, playing Venomancer.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I remember when Jack got up to like 5K or something like that. closing in on 6K just because the Venomancer spamming. And a Midas for the Juggernaut. All right. He already had the Magnus, so I wasn't sure if he was actually going to get that farm accelerator, but apparently he feels it's necessary.
What if he gets a Battle Fury after Hand of Midas? Then the game just explodes.
Double damage.
1300 GPM Juggernaut. Never happened before.
He'll be the least impactful 15-minute Juggernaut and the most farmed 50-minute Juggernaut.
Camp stacked. We see 5 on FlyToMoon, 3, 7 on 5 men. So pretty even. This is not Team Liquid, where one team has 3 and the Team Liquid on the other side has like a 17. Anything you steal from Grimstroke as Rubik feels good. It's one of the matchups that you kind of want to play into.
Yeah. V-Tune pulling the creep wave over to the side here. While the Venomancer continues to chip away at that mid tower. It's up to 5 men to put together some sort of response here. They need to be able to find an initiation. They're going to first go for the bounty runes here. Trying to dodge the shackle shot. Holds up, but doesn't actually latch to the trees. V2 gets the bounty rune and looks to get out. Ace is on the other side of things. He's going to jump away to his remnant before a stun could catch him.
So they just saw 5 members of 5 men. Tiny gets a Blink Dagger. They're farming mid lane, bot, and top at the same time. So this is where this whole difference comes from. I think right now FlyToMoon is just outplaying them. Also, this boosted travel, you know, I'm not a big fan of it, but there's also some couple of good sides to it. You know, he can be at anywhere on the map. One thing I'm worried about is they don't have any abilities that go through magic immunity, so this is something that they're going to struggle against on side of FlyToMoon. He kills the Sentry Ward.
Never refuse gold given.
They try to block the camps.
Where are you going?
Smoke it over, running into Pylai Die with the enchant. Well, he shouldn't live because Roger should be able to finish off the kill, but I think they really want this Magnus. That's what Roger's heading for. And they might just be able to get him put on the Inkswell. Roger catches him inside the Avalanche. A nice chain stun combination. Zibbe. That was quite greedy, and he does pay the price.
So they are itemizing for what I mentioned that they lack. Straight up physical damage. Ember drums into Desolator. And Shadowfin also going for right-click build. So there's going to be a lot of minus armor coming on from Shadowfin's Aura, Deso. And they also need some tower damage. So one of the reasons why they're going for it. Every single time I see Ember Spirit on one side, the first thing that comes to my mind, you need to have a hero that deals tower damage.
Right. Mid-tower deny range still. FlyToMoon.
Midas.
They're all running over here.
They got the deny.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Gets the deny. Now go use that Midas.
Iceberg going all in on the damage. I believe that's MKB queued up. Just needs the Demon Edge to finish it off.
Okay, you're dead. Roger, don't get too close or you'll be dead too. Always want to fly. That's just one of those, you know, 5-position deaths. You kind of have to run around in the enemy jungle sometime. Oh, shackle shot. Was that an invisible chassis catching this V-Tune? And that was a really big kill.
Good spell casting, everything on point. Just stun locked him. And Misery Steal Slight, not the best spell, but something they needed just to finish him off. Roger hunting. Van Ward.
Oh, get it, Roger! The Ward picked it up. Pylai Die dies to that instead.
Imagine Tiny with the Craggy coat. Level 18 trying to hit.
Did you see that? That was actually a clip that was on Reddit at some point. It was really funny.
Top tower has fallen.
Roger finds another ward. This is 5 men. The map's getting a little closed off here. The only saving grace is that they did manage to take this top tower, but it's not the easiest area to really push in and feel good about.
So Windranger is ready to go. BKB, Javelin, Grow Bow, extra magic damage. I think they need to smoke and try to make stuff happen now.
Yeah, he's 3,000 net worth behind this Shadow Fiend, so Wind Ranger ultimately, she's a killer, not a farmer. So she's got to go out there, shut down this SF.
I would like if Jesse just picks up Dust for himself. He's the one who can kill the Shadow Fiend, and he just brings it. Yeah, I'm loving it. Because he understands, like, there's no other hero that can just come into the back line where Shadow Fiend's going to be standing and go full force or just use a Dust. Like, they don't have that gap closer yet. Magnus not going for a Blink Dagger from what I saw. I mean, you're playing into Venomancer, just tanking up, getting Hood, getting that mech.
Invading the triangle. He's on top of the illusions right now, so they have the vision. They looking to be able to blow up Zibbe right away, and it looks like they got him. Roger, he's going to be the turnaround kill here as the Soul Bind keeping Chessie and Ace together, focused on the same target. V2 going to be slowed down by the Enchant. He's playing the outside edges of this fight. Oh no, the Omni Slash! It bounced off the Ancient! Oh, Iceberg, he's still in trouble though. He's trying to get off the ultimate, but the spin is there from Ace. He will manage to finish him off. That AoE damage and the fear pushes back some of these heroes, but 5 men were more than capable of fighting through all of this, thanks in big part to Chessie and that great Shackles. Now V-Tune's got to get out of here. He should be fine.
They need Shadow Fiend to have good vision where he's fighting. They need to bring a sentry so he can get a good ulti off. Otherwise, you know, Ace is just gonna get on top of him, especially if he's standing in the front lines. I think Shadow Fiend needs to be more careful about it. They took the right target. They took the mag out first, but Tiny, he needs a defensive item. Like, they need to take care of him because he's gonna get only one combo off, and you wanna save the Tiny so he goes in and out multiple times in a team fight. That's a full Deso and Ember Spirit right now, so that's gonna help out with some right-click issues that they are having right now.
Yeah, we saw the this Juggernaut. As soon as he spins, nobody can touch him on the side of FlyToMoon. So, physical damage upgrade will help. Will it be enough, though? Roger gets in, stays in front of Zibbe. I don't think you wanted to do that, though, Roger. You just lost a fight on the triangle area, and 5 men, they've shown that they are more than willing to take any engagement around that. Do manage to pick up the Desolator just before the Courier died, at least.
Philosopher's Stone was picked up by FlyToMoon. I just want to see who's holding it. Like, if it's a Grimstroke. Yeah, it's Grimstroke. Yep. One of the items that you can go for in the Ford when you're playing position 5 Grimstroke with the Fillet is Aghanim Scepter, especially when there's like this hard right clicker on the enemy team, like a Jug.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a Glimmer Cape. You already have Shadow Fiend with the Invis, full MKB on him. He's very squishy. He deals ton of damage, but you know, he goes down quickly. One Jug ulti, he's done. One Wind Ranger ulti with a BKB and Dust, he's gone.
Hey, doing Roshan's a good way to solve your squishiness, but that's only if you can actually get it here. The rest of 5 men, they knew they were in the Roshan pit, and I thought they were actually going to make a move over, but no, they just let them have it. They had a successful scan inside the pit, but opt to farm instead. Yeah, do manage to take mid-tower during that time. The Enchantress creep got the last hit.
This is something that I like to see whenever I have Vampire Fangs on team or myself. You just keep it in the backpack. I really dislike the item to just, you know, have it on a hero. It's very specific. But if you're farming your half HP, you just put it in, heal up.
RP'd as V-Tune tries to get in there, and as soon as he silenced, they managed to get the Soulbind silence there, but the physical damage from this Juggernaut hits so much. V-Tune finally does get Omni Slash, though. The heavy commitment to be able to bring down one hero, but it looks like commitment on the other side. They actually managed to bring down Iceberg's Aegis in exchange for Chessie's life. But now Roger's going to be able to come in. He has to spin back up on Ace, and that extra movement speed talent means he is cruising.
They cannot catch him. They have no lockdown that goes through Magic Immunity. And this was a fast Aegis that's gone on FlyToMoon. Still, they got Chessie. Alright, so big target. Didn't even pop SF ulti. I want to see what's Shadow Fiend's next item going to be. I mean, he can get something like SNY or just go full Satanic.
Sure. Yeah, something to tank up a little bit more, right?
Use up Satanic.
What would you think about like a Scotty?
Sure, as the item after this, I'm
Sure,
down
yeah.
for it.
Yeah, just another big stat item. See, Iceberg doesn't feel super comfortable going into any high grounds, doesn't want to stumble into a ward sentry combination. He is the hard carry after all in this setup, especially with V2 being the most underfarmed core on their side. Is right between the Magnus and Wind Ranger in net worth, which is not the greatest place to be.
This is the problem with the Tiny. Like, he gets a Blink Dagger, and if he's dying every single time, he's not gonna get his second item.
Oh, he's on Fly. Is quickly gonna die here. I have watched them play this same area and die.
A couple of times, yep.
Yeah, a number of times now. They seem really, really anxious to control that triangle, which I imagine has to do with the fact that they're facing up against Juggernaut with a Magnus. They want to take away those Ancients, but I feel like they're giving away more farm than they're taking, Lacoste.
Oh, for sure. I think this is the mistake that they've done already 3 times. Also, Philosopher's Stone, if your Tiny is not having a good time, you can share it until he gets his second item, and then he gives it back to you. But I saw Fly always want to fly, queuing up Aghanim Scepter, so I love it.
Speaking of Scotties, Ace is going to be building a Scotty here. Always good. Melee versus ranged cores to be able to have something like that stick on top of people. Iceberg putting in some serious damage to this tier 2 top lane. Another 5 minutes until we have that 30-minute outpost experience time, so as FlyToMoon are the ones who have been trying to control this game a little bit more. It would be nice to take that, but much of their advantage has sort of bled away. 5 men are only down by 1,000 net worth now. And Chessie's closing in on an MKB of his own.
No next Roche for at least 4 minutes because they lost that Aegis so quickly. Venomancer, you know, he's the guy that builds any kind of item you want. It always feels good. Oh, you're getting mech, nice. It's good for the team. You're getting Veil, you're getting a Force Staff, Solar Crest, Lotus Robe, you name it. Anything you buy on this hero just feels good. I don't think there's a hero, anything similar to Venomancer, that can do the same thing with the items. Like, you do not report Venomancer for not going for the correct item ever.
Right. Like, even Force Staff feels good on him because you can build it into a Hurricane Pike if you want.
Veil ulti. Veil.
Yeah,
Veil.
He needs to get off the Veil because he's dead anyway, so you might as well do as much damage as possible. The rest of the team is coming in. They have double damage on Iceberg here. Getting into position, trying to 3-shot Chessie. Only gets 2 shots though, and now he's taking up the Omni Slash. Roger blinking in and taking away from Iceberg. Very kind of him, but Iceberg is still struggling to be able to get the last hits on these kills. Zibe had 1 hit left. TP'd out. A buyback being expended here by Roger, and it feels like FlyToMoon, they're like, we gotta go, but
what's the go? What are they doing? That's the question. I feel like Roger switched the hotkey on the buyback. He used it in the previous game of Dark Willow for no reason. Like, they're not getting anything out of this.
Well, there may be,
there it is. That's
Shockwave.
it.
It's gonna be back down. Roger's in trouble. This could be a dieback for him, fortunately. Okay, there's the Soulbind actually catching the 2 of them, chained up as well, double silence, but there's the RP from Zibe. Do they have the damage to follow through with the skewer back in towards Ace? Ace wants to stay away from Iceberg here. Iceberg letting loose that ultimate. Very low, but gets the Satanic off, and all of a sudden he's full health. That is why Ace was scared of that guy. Shackle shot, nicely done by Chessie. But I'm not sure if he can commit. Misery's going to try and help out. There goes the ultimate. Stolen away by Misery. Used to help bring down Iceberg. And now they're going to catch General as well. Ace sticking on him. Oh, Shackle Shot doesn't quite latch there on a General, but it doesn't really matter. Because how could General possibly get out of this situation? He's doing what he can. But counter ward blocked by Misery, who continues to show some pretty good work on this Rubik.
That was a blink reveal for Mag. He had a hood, had a mech, so you do not have a good read whether he's going for full Guardian Greaves. He was staying off the map and just farming up. And eventually, even though you're playing against the Venomancer, you need to get the Blink Dagger. Once he gets it, like, you see the power of the hero. Full Scotty completed on Juggernaut. This Juggernaut is a huge problem. Like we can see, he did not die a single time because they have no abilities that pierce through magic immunity, so he can just spin off.
Yeah. Especially with that extra 100 movement speed when you spin. He's just so easily able to get out. Yeah, this is certainly beginning to be really problematic for FlyToMoon, as it feels like Ace is just going to single-handedly carry some of the late game for them with this Empower. And FlyToMoon, they've been scrambling to take control of this mid-game, but just hasn't been working. They keep on... Kills will slip through their hands. They lose some team fights as they continue to try and fight into some awkward areas. V2 going to be caught by the telekinesis. They have the follow-up. Misery! Or sorry, Roger with the big save. Toss away during the telekinesis.
This is why Tiny is one of the best heroes at the moment. You can always do stuff with the Tiny. Surprisingly, Iceberg's keeping up with this empowered Hand of Midas Juggernaut. Just 1,000 gold difference. But, you know, when you compare these two heroes, what they're doing in the game right now, like, I think everyone would just choose Juggernaut over SF.
Yeah. Iceberg is going to be working towards a Daedalus. Again, just trying to max out his physical damage, but he just won't. I don't think he'll ever be able to catch that Juggernaut again when it comes to net worth.
You're playing into Jug and Mag, but I still feel like you need to have a BKB here. You have some status resistance coming out from Satanic, but one Shackle, you're dead. One Rubik's Lift after you used your ulti, used your Invis.
Invisibility.
Well, I was going to say the next Roshan fight will probably be what determines the game here, but maybe not, as 5 men. They're looking for a team fight anywhere they can find it, it seems like, as they were just playing on the high ground enemy triangle. Now Ace is even manning up on the tier 2. He apparently feels invincible, and I don't think his read on the game is wrong.
Radiant structures are
He is very tough to bring down. They're trying to pull the creep wave to prevent him from taking that tower, and backdoor protection does go up, surprisingly.
This is the big item. If FlyToMoon can farm it on Venomancer, Lotus Orb, used correctly, can just completely negate ulti from the Juggernaut. Great against Shackle, great against Rubik's Lift, Fate Bolt. Like, this might be the item that changes things. Always on a fly. 3,000 gold away from Aghanim Scepter. You know, when you say it that way, it feels like you're close, but you're actually not.
No, you're pretty far away. There's less and less farm on the map as all 5 men take the mid tier 2. Now the top one. They're just kind of sweeping around. 5,000 net worth lead for them. They now have a Basher. Do you really need Paladin Sword and Vampire Fangs in there, Ace?
I was about to say it. Get rid of the Vampire Fangs. Even Roche not dealing damage to you, considering how high your armor is at the moment.
Roshan is up in 50 seconds. Both teams playing around the area. 5 men are the ones who feel more confident. So that's why they're just kind of standing in the enemy triangle. FlyToMoon. They were going to reciprocate and play in the enemy jungle, but instead they're going to sweep in here. But they're going to sweep in.
But they see Venomancer. Venomancer broke the smoke. He used the Veno ward.
Oh, Iceberg. Somebody's smoke is going to break soon, and this ward may be spotted. They do have the Enchantress that is going down quickly. Managed to kill him. 670 damage from that crit from Iceberg. It's a pickoff.
They know exactly where 5 men are standing. 4 men right now because they took out Twilight Die. Still, it's very scary to just climb uphill. They don't have anything besides a ward from Venomancer to scout things out.
That's why the Ember Spirit's going to lead the way here and make sure they're not too grouped up. If they get RP'd into an Omni Slash, they would certainly all die. So V-Tune scouts it out. Nobody nearby. Okay, let's try and do this Roshan. Let's put all this minus armor to work.
They have a ton of minus armor. Full AC on Ember Spirit, Solar Crest, Shadow Fiend, Aura. Like, this goes down quickly. I don't think they're going to get there in time. Shadow Fiend, 3 more crits, and that will do it.
They're around the area, but it looks like they're just going to be a bit too far. Roshan down. Iceberg takes the Aegis, and she's given over to VP. A second time where 5 men, it felt like they were playing very cautious into the Roshan.
Yeah.
Like, it almost seemed like they felt it was more important not to lose a fight around the Roshan pit in exchange for kind of like just letting FlyToMoon control the area or take that Rosh.
If they wanted to take that fight, they had no Enchantress, but at this point, Enchantress is really not crucial to winning a team fight. What is she doing at the moment? Dispelling Grimstroke, dispelling possibly Ember Spirit Shield, and you know, some of the impetus damage. That's pretty much it. If they wanted to go in 4 versus 5, they would have done it.
475 health on the Juggernaut. That's the talent he chose rather than the extra second of Omni Slash. Daedalus is almost done for Iceberg, so he's going to be hitting really hard.
A lot of
soon.
question marks here.
A lot of question marks on what's going to be happening in this next team fight, because despite the fact that, you know, it feels like every fight that we've watched lately has been 5 men absolutely dominating it, they seem a bit skittish, and it's FlyToMoon who look pretty confident here with this Aegis that they have, and the Cheese as well. Abyssa Blade on Ace would make things a lot
He
quicker.
just got it. Yeah. Completed, no buyback. Can keep doing this. They still have no Basher. Or anything that stops Jug from just spinning and TPing out. Lotus Orb completed on Venomancer. That's the big one. That's the one that I mentioned against Juggernaut ulti, against the Shackle. If somehow they manage to use it and Jug uses ulti on a target, I think that's game winning.
VP sticking on a Zibe here. Going for the ZP out, but the chains was back up. Oh dear.
Oh, Quickening Charm, that's why.
Yeah.
Zibed did not add that to the mat.
Looks like they're going to try and take away the Aegis here from Iceberg, but the Soulbind is going to be able to catch Misery and Chessie together, and the second life of the SF is coming back up at Ace. He still has his Omni Slash, so they have the vision to be able to see him. Iceberg retreating now. The spin is about to wear out. They're looking for the chains. Don't hit it on Ace, just on the Misery. The Rubik stuck in place for a time being, but everyone is terrified of this Omni Slash, so nobody's really committing. Nobody's going in.
Tiny has a Ghost Scepter. It's very hard for them to itemize. Like, they don't have the heroes that, you know, naturally buy into anything that stops Jug from just ulting. And this is the problem. Every single time I see no BKB piercing abilities when you play against Jug, when you play against Enigma, it feels like these heroes are the strongest one in the game. And he, you know, in this one, he has Empower to just scale indefinitely. I'm really surprised how good Iceberg is playing. I mean, he's still playing Shadowfiend into this tough matchup that he has, and only 2k gold behind.
Yeah. As he said, he's just kind of keeping pace with the Juggernaut. Been doing a good job of not falling too out of favor against a hero that should have. I mean, you've got the Midas, you've got the Empower, you have more options. The toss catches him out. He takes a lot of damage, but the Shackle shot stopped the rest of it. Chance has got to move back because Ace still needs to be able to retreat.
catches Skewer,
A
the
two-man,
follow-up.
okay, the Skewer back into right in front of these tier 3s, but VP, they're happy to disables to be able to catch him out. They don't, so it's just going to have to be always want to fly. He gets Abyssa Bladed. Iceberg daring anybody to fight him with this double damage.
It's gonna get dispelled by Enchantress.
Yeah, as soon as it does, he's going to be skewered back on the Slash, and they have no
Big
protection
combo.
for him.
Gets the tip. And Zibe has some nice RPs and skewering them back. This game's just falling apart for FlyToMoon.
Okay,
Still trying to go in.
Still trying to get the kill out of Chessie, but he missed the toss. Chessie juked back, and I guess he was out of range or something. Misery holding on to Pylai Die, please.
And this is
Don't let him take me.
This is something you do when you're playing against the Invoker. You want to share the Sunstrike damage, so VP will just kill the creep wave. They still have a couple of creeps here. He's the only one who's alive for his team.
I can't help but thinking like FlyToMoon, like Iceberg was all alone. You know, they weren't really playing around him. He needs everybody else to be forward. And
How are they gonna save him? They even used Lotus Orb on Tiny in that fight. The Shackle connected on 2 of the heroes. Great setup for the RP. And they try to go on Juggernaut. I don't think you can just straight up kill him.
No.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
No, that's been made very apparent in this game. By the way, Misery, 2-0-20, 8-0-7 on the Juggernaut.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
A pretty clear problem when you just cannot seem to kill some of the heroes on the enemy team.
There's some nice spells to steal in this game, whether you're playing against a Tiny, he stole a good Requiem once. Anything from Grimstroke is also cool. Venomancer, you name it. Like, it's just a Dream Ruby game, and Misery shows why.
Yeah, hell, even Chessie's only died once. Yeah, 5 men. Now we have the Aghanim Scepter on the Juggernaut, so he's even that Omni Slash. He still has some other options with the Swift Slash, or whatever it's called.
Quickie.
Quick Slash. And at this point, it's looking like they're going to be able to have a chance to even up this series. Push to a Game 3.
They even get the Princess Knife on Windranger, so some cool tier 4 items.
Okay. Let's see. They're going to smoke up.
Jesse, you already have Boots of Travel, you don't need another one.
Invisibility.
The BKB for the Ember Spirits. See if that'll make the difference, though I am doubtful. I think it's just got to entirely come down to play. They have to be able to Lotusaur back the Omni Slash. I think that there's the only hope. Lead off with the Princess Knife onto B-Tune, follow up Abyssal Blade. There's the power of the tier 4 items right there. A disable that you didn't quite expect to be so close to catching. The always want to fly Grimstroke, but
I believe, Cap, this game ends right here, right now. One more fight for FlyToMoon. No buyback on Ember Spirit. He just bought a full BKB. That's not the one that's going to make a difference, even though he's playing into a lot of disables. They still have Omni Slash, Quick Slash, Abyssal Blade, RP, Divine Rapier queued up on Shadow Fiend. All right. All in on damage.
Reminder that the winner of this series heads to the grand finals of the Divine Division playoffs. And if 5 men do manage to finish up these tier 4s, take the Ancient. It's the name of the game, FlyToMoon. Gotta defend that Ancient, but it feels like they just can't. The damage that Iceberg puts out sometimes can be impressive, but he can't do it for very long because there's no disables to stop Ace. He just every single time is able to reset, spin back, and wait for his allies to find an opportunity.
I think now
to
it's
clean
time.
engagement.
No healing ward, he's on half HP. Yeah, but the Greaves, Ench heal. He's gonna get him back to full. Alright, what do you do if you're Shadowfiend right now? Do you sell the cheese? I mean, he's getting close.
That's not a bad idea.
There's not enough time to farm this Divine Rapier.
Yeah.
Sell bottle, sell cheese. He should have enough if he doesn't.
I also need General out in front. I need General to get a really good Poison Nova at the very start.
They saw Shadowfiend Sentry and Observer
Oh my
Ward.
goodness, they're coming for him. They're not gonna find the SF, but they will catch. Always want to fly instead, and maybe they've cut. Yeah, they did. They got Roger as well. So both the supports. Roger does
Tiny
have
has buyback. Okay, so it's time for SF to send the courier on the enemy side shop, secret shop, and try to buy. There's no side shop anymore. What am I talking about? I'm just having, you know, memories, flashbacks of the good old times. Quickie.
A little quickie just to finish up General. He buys back. Second chance to be able to get off the Poison Nova. Finally, they have the Divine Rapier. Iceberg
Naked Throne
has it on the courier, I should say.
Yep,
and
it's coming back.
Way. Is he going to be able to break the wall? Oh no, look at Rubik. Misery's trying to chase it down. It cuts down into the trees.
They're trying to find it. Look at the courier.
Yeah.
With the power shot. Just trying to give vision to Misery to actually kill Divine Rapier.
That would have been so clutch if they pulled that off. Okay, Divine Rapier time.
And Aghanims on Grimstroke. All right. This is it. Do or die. He sold everything. Show Grimstroke, please. I think he sold all of his items, yeah?
Green
That's the
boots and a scepter. It's all a wizard needs. going to do his best Gandalf impression here. Tell 5 men they shall not pass. That there will be no game 3. But right now, 5 men, they're currently dealing with the Balrog in the pit, and they're going to be able to take it down before the rest of FlyToMoon gets here. Aegis Cheese. Don't know what the other one is.
Still on the ground.
Yeah. Zippe. He's away. So what did they get? Was it Refresher Shard or...
I did not see.
Or the Aghanims?
That's why I thought Grimstroke is just going to go straight into Ags
Refresher Shard for Chessie.
instead of getting the Ether Lens. When you get the Fillet, you have enough gold to get that Aghanim Scepter. Level 25 Wind Ranger. This was the first Death of Misery. 45 minutes in. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, very impressive by 5 men as a whole. Seeing as we can now see the strength of this team up against FlyToMoon compared to game 1 where they didn't get to play. They lost the lane so hard that nothing really mattered.
It really did not feel like they were playing Dota with that kind of a lineup. So full Satanic on Juggernaut, Aegis. Holding on to Illusion Escape for now. You can't put it in the backpack anymore, but you can have it as your main item, and when the illusion dies, you just swap in another item.
Yeah, sure. How close is Iceberg to buyback? I imagine it's like 500, 600 gold or something. 1,200, never mind. He's level 25. Not that it would matter a whole lot unless he could actually, unless they're fighting like around their ancient and he could pick up the Divine Rapier again.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
This is the last set of Raxes for FlyToMoon. They don't even have tier 4 towers anymore. Smoke from 5 men.
Yeah, giving themselves every possible advantage they could ask for as they go for this assault.
These are 2 catapults timing, so they want to go in.
Iceberg. Let's see what that damage looks like against the Juggernaut. He doesn't pop out just yet. Those Venom wards stolen by the Rubik are going to get real annoying as they give some vision inside the base.
Grimstroke, he has buyback. That's also the item that they need. He used
they
the
tried
illusion
to jump at the same time as they got the illusion out, but instead the spin goes off from Ace as he connects the toss onto the illusion itself. The Abyssal Blade looking to finish him off. Roger getting away, but no, a power shot snipes him down, and they have to deal with this gigantic creep wave that's coming into them. They were going to lose their throne if they did not take their eyes off of bottom lane for a second. Now Always Want to Fly. He's going to go down. He does have that buyback, though, as you mentioned. Tier 3 gone. Megas.
Let's see the damage of SF. It's not very impressive on shot.
It's going to take a lot of hits, and Ace will not stick around long enough for that to happen. Meanwhile, the wards are building and building the Soulbind onto the 2, but the Shackle preventing Iceberg from getting any damage out during that time. He got the illusion of both the Juggernaut as well as this Wind Ranger. The Inkswell stun does quite a bit, but FlyToMoon, they're so scared of going outside of their base.
And Magnus, he has enough mana to use 2 RPs with the Refresher.
Omni Slash, that's bounce back, or quick slash rather. That's still has the Omni though. Now he's gonna go for it, I think, with the RP. There he goes. Oh, he actually jumped over to the creep wave, but it doesn't matter. They've got the control onto the SF. That's it. GG.
Yeah, the problem was they did not have anything that pierces magic immunity, so Juggernaut had a complete free farm in this game. He was never threatened. They almost killed him once. That was pretty much it.